Good morning, brothers. Craig here. I want to talk to you this morning about commitment. What kind of commitment you have to being the man that you want to be, to living out your convictions. I was reading this morning about Hernan Cortez, who was a captain, general, I'm not sure, title's not important, from Spain, and he conquered over the sea much of large areas of the Americas. And it's been said that Cortez, when he landed in the Americas with his army, their ships hit the shore, the men disembarked, and he told the men to burn the ships. I have to imagine a few of those men might have looked at him like he was a little bit nuts. And when I tell men today to burn their ships, they look at me like I'm a little bit nuts. When I say to tell the world the truth, to speak truth, speak your convictions, don't worry about the consequences, because the consequences of not speaking truth are far greater than speaking truth. We'll talk about that here more in just a minute. Cortez told his men to burn their ships. Now, why did he do that? He did that to take away any opportunity they had to retreat. There was no going back. There was no excuse. There was no justification. It was success or die trying. And when you attack life, men, when you have goals that you want to achieve, you need to burn the ship that is your past. Burn the ships that will serve as an escape path for you when things get tough. When you face adversity, tribulation, and you start wondering, is it worth it? It is worth it. That's why you set off on that path to begin with. I mentioned earlier men who shy away from speaking truth because of the consequences. If you are afraid to speak truth because of what others might think of you or what others might do to you, you are a weak-minded coward. And I'm not sitting here before you acting as though I'm someone who's never shied away from saying what needs to be said. I have done it, and I've regretted it every time. Millions of Jews died in the Holocaust. You know why Hitler got to the point where he was able to do that? Because too many good men who knew that what he was doing was evil stood down because they were afraid. They could have stood up when Hitler still wasn't powerful enough. They could have stood up, gathered people around them to stand up for what was wrong. I'm not saying they had to attack physically, violently, with weapons. Maybe that is what they decided to do. I don't know. The fact is, they could have used their mouths. Words are powerful. When you sit back and you don't say what needs to be said, you are part of the problem. You know, guys want to talk about how they work in these liberal areas and how even just stating their support for Trump or some of his policies are viewed negatively to the point where they fear for their jobs. And so they are silent. Well, guess what happens as you're silent? That same sentiment that wants to keep people silent, that same sentiment that wants to oppress people for their views, you are encouraging it. You are complicit in it. And if that slide toward tyranny continues, one day you might find yourself in a concentration camp of your own, where your children may be taken away from you because the state deems your views to be dangerous to them. Then what? Then will you be happy that you didn't stand up and say something? You should have burned your ship. Burn your ship. Stand for truth. Do what needs to be done. You succeed or you die trying. I get it. I get it. You guys are going to listen to this, some of you, and say, Craig, you're crazy. That's just unreasonable. It's irrational. No, it's not. There's nothing irrational ever about a man standing for what he knows is right. There's nothing irrational ever about a man not being a coward. So what goals do you have? What truth do you have to speak? What are some things that you're not committing to with the fervor that it deserves? What ships do you need to burn? That's the question I want to ask for you on this Monday. You know, other people are tweeting about hashtag Monday motivation. This can be motivating. I don't care about motivation. I care about commitment. What have you committed to do, and what are you doing to make sure that that commitment comes to fruition? Are you deciding ahead of time how you're going to respond, how you're going to act? Are you deciding ahead of time what truth you're going to speak to the world? You think my Christian brothers that came before me that died by crucifixion or by being burned at the stake, or by being disemboweled by lions or by the sword, you think that they made that decision in the moment? I guarantee you they didn't. They had burned that ship long ago, and they knew where their commitment lied, and they knew that if given the opportunity to choose life or choose standing true for their convictions, they would choose to stand true on their convictions. You have to decide ahead of time what it is that is important to you, what truth it is you have to give to the world, and you give it. To do anything less is unacceptable. It is cowardice. That's all I have for you today, men. If you have any comments, leave them below this video on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe so you can be notified as I produce new videos here on a near daily basis. Check out what Hunter and I are doing on the blog at thefamilyalpha.com. You can join our email list there where you get messages just like the one I'm giving here. Sometimes even more raw, more personal from Hunter and I, because we are committed. Our ship has been burned. We're committed to helping our fellow man live out their convictions, to do so without fear and without reservation. And if you want to join a group of men who are all striving toward that ideal, you can check out what we're doing inside of the Fraternity of Excellence at fraternityofexcellence.com. And again, you can follow me on Twitter at CraigJamesTFA. That's the best place to engage with me in real time and see what I'm up to, and see all the thoughts that I have to put out to the world, because I burned my ship. So that's it for today, men. I'm out.